video for using later. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, I really appreciate you coming on.
Oh,
And
that's fine.
I just want to
I'm
welcome
delighted.
everybody to Carnivore Compass. This is Unplugged, where we talk carnivore. No BS, no nothing, just all unfiltered truth about the carnivore way of life. Um, I'm here with Jude Armstrong, and you are halfway across the world, all the way across the world from where I am. Whereabouts are you, Jude?
I'm on the coast in central Queensland, just
Queensland.
near just near a town called Bundaberg, which is actually quite famous for its rum because we're surrounded by sugar cane,
That's
which
cool. I like
which we
that.
which we don't get into, of course. But
So
it's
now, does that make you a Kiwi? Is that what you?
no, I'm originally from England,
Oh, okay.
and
Uh,
I moved out to Australia in 1974.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's more years than what, 50 something. Yeah,
Wow,
each.
that's incredible. So let's dive right in. I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
I sent you a list of the questions so that we didn't
Oh,
catch
did
you
you?
off guard, but I do have them in front of me, so I'll ask
Oh,
you one
good.
at
All
a
right.
time.
I didn't
Um,
even see those.
And don't worry, again, this is unfiltered. So if you have something off the cuff you want to say, if you have a bit of a trucker's mouth, it doesn't matter. You just tell it like it is, okay? So,
Different phrases. Trucker's mouth.
trucker's
I
mouth,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I
No.
mean, some call it potty mouth. I call it trucker mouth. So
Yeah,
there you
well, I think you're probably right.
go. So, I mean, carnivore. What inspired you to try the carnivore way of eating?
Well, it was kind of circuitous, really. I'd been on a high fat, low carb keto diet for a decade at least. And a friend of mine in the Netherlands, who's a lovely guy, he's an opera singer, announced to me, pardon me, that he was going to do this carnivore diet. And of course, I thought the bloke's bonkers. Why would you do that? Because I'm the ultimate salad queen,
Right.
stuffing myself with raw vegetables every day. So I went, oh yes, Josh, okay, fine. And I just watched him. And he had a huge sugar addiction. He used to eat absolute rubbish. I mean, in my opinion, and now he knows he did. Um, Huge amounts of food every day, and it was actually affecting his singing ability. And he had all sorts of things going wrong because he's middle aged.
Right.
I mean, he's not 70 odd like I am. He's probably in his 50s anyway. He was kind of seizing up all round. So over a period of months, I watched his whole complexion get better. His his body shape just transformed, and his singing improved out of sight. And that was the thing, that was his motivation, was
Wow.
to improve his larynx. And now it's, boy, probably 18 months, he's dropped about 25 kilos and at his goal weight, and he's thrilled to bits with his diet. He's been doing mainly lion diet, with a very occasional little, blip, which has caused him immense gut problems. So he doesn't do that very often
Wow.
anymore.
And for those that
Um,
for those that don't know, lion diet is primarily beef and water only.
yeah,
No dairy, no butter, no anything else, just beef
yeah,
and water. So nose to tail from the bovine and then water. And that's
yeah.
incredible. So
And yeah, I'm thrilled to bits for him because he was in such a bad way, and he was very, very disciplined, which I guess opera singers are anyway. They have that inherent ability.
correct.
And he looks absolutely wonderful, completely transformed. So, and it's changed his life.
That's incredible. Now,
Wonderful.
obviously, you may have had some challenges as well. Like what kind of health or lifestyle
Well,
challenges were you
well,
facing?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've always been very interested in health. My parents, we had my grandfather had market gardens, And in those days, of course, in the 50s, everything was not sprayed. It was all organic. So we ate mainly fruit and vegetables from the garden. Generally, very little meat except for chicken and rabbits at the time until mixed mitosis jumped into the game, and that was the end of that. Occasionally lamb, but I mean, we're looking at the very end of, I think, in 1953, which is when I was born, when they decided that sugar was then allowed to be freely eaten in the UK. And we didn't eat much sugar at all because I guess everybody had got used to not having it. So that was my background. So I've always pretty well eaten that way and been reasonably slim most of my life, apart from a couple of notable stress-caused reactions. I've never had a sweet tooth. I will admit to being a cheese addict. That was my thing. So no, I have to walk past the deli centre like this. Actually, I don't anymore, but I did for a while because I mean that was my absolute bête noire, camembert. Oh boy. So I also back in the 80s had a paralysis tick lodged in the back of my neck when I was living in northern New South Wales, and I guess you know about the alpha-gal problem with that.
Yeah, it's like a red meat
yeah.
allergy, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of linked to Lyme's disease, I think, Jason.
Yeah.
So shortly after that, I went to a barbecue and I thought, oh, I fancy a lamb chop. I mean, I hadn't eaten red meat for eons. So I had part of this lamb chop and I had the biggest histamine reaction you could imagine. So that put me off meat again for the next 20 odd years. So, you know, with reference to Josh and his carnivore lion diet, I thought, well, you know, there might be something in this. So I started doing a whole load of research as one does. And found a whole bunch of people, you know, the usual suspects, Ken Berry and Shawn Baker, and my favorite, Dr. Elizabeth Bright. And there's a wonderful guy down in Sydney who doesn't get much of a rap, but he's a scientist and he has a clinic called Dr. Paul Baker. Have you heard of him?
Not Paul Baker. No, I'll have to look him up.
Oh, sorry, Mason. Mason. Paul Mason.
Baker, okay.
Yeah, Paul Mason. He's incredibly informative, and I like his style because I like the science behind stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so going back about 5 years, I used to walk a lot. Twice, because I lived at the beach, so twice a day, sunrise and sunset, I'd be out for my walk. And on one of these particular walks, I was on the beach and the sand fell beneath me and the whole of my right side of my body plummeted about, you know, nearly a meter into this hole. And I twisted my iliopsoas muscle, the one that's right inside that connects the hip to the body to the leg.
Right.
Which was excruciating. So that kind of put paid to walking for some weeks. Over time, that for some reason morphed into bursitis and then osteoarthritis in the hip. So for 3.5 years while I waited to have a hip surgery, I was only able to use a wheelie walker. And I was down to about 500 steps a day instead of my usual 12,000 or so. And I could only lie down or stand up. I couldn't sit. It was just too painful. So I had the surgery this year in February. And I thought, well, as a consequence of still eating keto and doing zero exercise for 3.5 years, I wanged on a huge amount of weight, you know, 20 kilos, which I wasn't very pleased with that.
Right.
Because I've never had to deal with such an excess of visceral fat before. So after the surgery, I decided that I was going to get on board with the carnivore diet, but for the inflammation, I wanted to reduce the weight, reduce the joint pain that I was having, which when I researched, I found out actually it was from the oxalates and all the rest of it. And having seen Dr. Chaffee's videos about plant poisons, I thought, well, maybe this is the wrong approach. So I'll just dive into carnivore, which I did pretty well from, straight in, because I'd been keto for so long and I didn't have sugar cravings or anything like that. So that's how I started. And
Was there, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Was there a turning point moment where you realized, my God, this is actually working?
About 4 weeks in, really. Over the first couple of months, I lost about 10 kilos like that, which was water weight, but it was still very gratifying to lose it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the most amazing thing was the fact that all the joint pain completely disappeared.
In
Totally.
4 weeks. In
4 weeks, gone.
Wow. Wow.
And I thought, righto, just even for, just for that, then you've got to stick with this. So I started on the 17th of March this year, which is St. Patrick's Day, easy to remember. And it's week 33 this morning coming in. So, and I'm loving it.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was really wondering how I would get on, without the veggies, because I mean, my whole diet was just vegetables, basically, and a very small amount of chicken or fish. And I thought, I'm going to miss them. Around about 10 days in, I thought, geez, this is boring. How am I ever going to cope with it? And then I lost my appetite completely. Totally. So I didn't really feel like eating anything. I mean, it came back. And then by that time, I was looking at Dr. Bright's videos and I thought, okay, fat is the thing. Eat more butter.
Well, I love that book. I mean, we talked about that book online earlier, and it said, for women, and I thought, why do I want to listen to this? So, but we did. My wife and I downloaded it into Audible, and we went, on a road trip, and that's when we listened to it. And it was like an aha moment, even for me, and understanding what's going on with her, but also what can affect me as well. And it was just an incredible book by Dr.
Yeah, I know. And I probably about, let me see, maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, I decided to do her protocol, the iodine protocol, purely because I built my fat intake up enough by that time. I mean, you can't just suddenly eat tons and tons of butter and expect that your stomach's going to be happy about it. So I increased steadily week by week to the point where I was at 80-20, 80% fat, and decided that I would do the iodine protocol because, I mean, iodine is just totally deficient. We don't get any at all anymore, as you know. And I remember when I was a kid, I was covered in the stuff.
Yeah.
Because we all had it in the first aid kit. And as soon as you scraped yourself, out came the iodine, and you ended up with orange blobs all over you, because I was always falling off my bike.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, so I got a bottle of Lugal's 5%. And started off slow and increased the dose. So currently I'm rolling along at about 10 or 12 drops a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and I feel great. So the only problem I have is with the selenium, is that I obviously have plenty of selenium in my body, so I only take the selenium every 3 days. Otherwise, I get this sort of low-grade pressure, like an impending headache, which doesn't eventuate.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what it is. It's the selenium, because that's one of the contraindications of that.
Yeah.
Potassium, zinc, what else is there?
The magnesium.
Magnesium, loads of mag. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
that it makes me laugh because you get a lot of people that are against this, whether they're vegan, vegetarian, whether they just don't understand. And they're like, well, you have to take vitamin C and you have to take, well, you have to do that on every lifestyle, whether
yes,
you're
you do.
eating a standard American diet or whether you're vegan or whether you're
Of
pescatarian.
course.
You've
Yeah.
always got to supplement because everything is depleted these days,
Yeah,
you know? And
absolutely. I
yeah,
agree. Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, we
So
take
what?
extra magnesium.
Mhm.
We take, I take 10,000 IU of vitamin D a day because, I mean, we only get 3 or 4 months of real nice sun up here. And where, I try and get out in the morning and look up in the sun and all that,
Mhm.
but you just don't get enough. And our bodies don't need to be recommended daily allowance. They need to be optimal, right? And that's the
Yeah.
problem is doctors just want you taking the daily amounts that are in the food guide. Well, that's not enough, right?
No, well, it's not, and it's not geared towards carnivores. It's geared towards people on the stupid Australian diet.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Yeah, we
and
cut.
the other thing, I mean, I get absolutely more vitamin D than I can cope with. I mean, when I had the hip replacement, I had to do blood tests, and I said, well, can you do a few of these other things? My vitamin D count's 100%, and the doctor was gobsmacked. He said,
Wow.
I've never seen anybody with a vitamin D content like this because most people are sitting at 40 and 50. But
Yeah.
one thing I read, and I think it might have been in Dr. Bright's book, maybe not, you you need fat for the synthesis of
Yes.
vitamin D. And
Absolutely.
that was interesting. So I thought, well, that's another good reason to eat tons of cold butter out of the fridge,
Absolutely. Yep.
which I love. I used to do it as a kid. And so now I've got my own butter and I've got no
Yeah.
mother to tell me not to do it.
So what would a typical day of eating look like for you?
For me, I don't do breakfast, never have.
Yeah.
So around about early morning, I have a decaffeinated coffee.
Right.
I'm not a huge coffee drinker. And then about 10, I have bulletproof with C8 caprylic MCT, 30 grams of butter, which is an ounce,
Yeah.
and a fair trade organic coffee, which is super rich, which I enjoy. That's my only coffee hit for the day. And I do like it. Occasionally, I'll put we've got a very clean protein powder, which I might put in if I think I'm going to be eating something like prawns or chicken or something later, which I don't do very often.
Right.
Just to top up my protein count, because one thing I find is that I think I have to keep my protein at a reasonable level.
Yep.
Um, and it's probably way less than everyone else's, I've noticed. I mean, all these people espousing 120 to 150 grams of protein. I can't eat that much in one day. I mean,
No.
my protein level sits at about 60,
Yep.
which is enough. And 48 grams is the recommended protein allowance to maintain muscle mass for women. So
Yep.
I figure if I'm getting in about 60, 65, I'm doing okay. Um,
Absolutely. And it's geared to your actual weight, right? Or your
yeah,
body
yeah.
weight. Yeah.
My the weight I want to be back at, which is
Yeah.
60
Yeah.
kilos.
Exactly. And
Um, yeah,
you need that protein for that glucogenesis too, where
yeah,
we're going to create some of the sugar that your body needs
of
without adding
course. Yeah.
sugar, right?
Yes, yeah, well, sugar. So that's it. And then so I ate my main meal at lunchtime, which usually involves beef or lamb. I prefer lamb. And pork belly is pretty well on the menu every day because I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and then in the evening, it depends. I mean, if I'm not hungry, I don't eat, which is most days. Um, but if I am hungry, I'll have something light like scrambled eggs with butter, and that's it.
So you keep it around, sounds like around 1,000 calories a day-ish.
It works out to be about 1,300-ish.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Which
Uh,
isn't bad. Which
no,
isn't,
yeah, well, it's under the TDEE.
but you're not starving.
Oh God, no, I couldn't
Yeah.
stuff another thing in.
Well, and yeah, I'm also like a certified personal trainer and
Mm,
nutrition coach, and that's the one thing I always tell clients is eat till you're satiated, right?
yeah,
You'll know if you're having enough because at the end of the day, if you're famished, you're not getting enough. Or,
yeah, no,
when you wake up in the morning, if you can't do the gym, you didn't eat enough the day before, and it's that simple, and you just have to tweak it. Now, any unexpected benefits that you weren't expecting on carnivore that you're quite happy with?
Uh, yes, the change in my sleep patterns. I
Yeah,
go to bed early. I'm usually thinking about going to bed and in bed by about 9 o'clock, and I go to sleep 9:30 to 10. I'm sleeping consistently well every night, 8 hours. And on my Fitbit, I have there's a checklist of REM sleep and deep, light sleep and deep, and my deep sleep has increased to about an hour and a half consistently every night now,
that,
which is great
that's
because
incredible.
yeah, apart from full moon when I find it difficult to get to sleep, but
Yeah.
that's only one night of the month.
Are
So
are you are you an empath?
must be.
Yeah. Yeah. So if those
Yeah.
energies are really strong and people that are
Oh yeah.
empaths and spiritual, I mean it
Yeah.
affects them and there's no
Yeah,
getting around it.
that's it. I
Yeah.
make sure I have a really good book to read when
Yeah.
full moon coming up.
N-
So
Now,
yes, well, the joint pain was the amazing thing. I
yeah,
mean, just not having that has made my life so much easier.
yeah,
And I think that you going on the carnivore diet, one of the ideas was that it would facilitate the embedding of the new titanium bionic hip that I have,
right.
and it's so it certainly has. I think. I mean, I've got hardly any scar tissue that I
Yeah.
can see.
Oh, that's
Mobility
incredible.
is really, really good, and so I'm well ahead of the game on that. I think it's. I remember half the time I don't even think about it anymore,
Yeah.
and the recovery was very, very fast. I didn't take any meds. So I
Excellent.
wasn't a model patient because I wouldn't take them
Well,
because
no, that's what they want, right? They want to get you on
yeah,
painkillers and this and
oh,
that, and
heavy duty stuff. And they kept saying, you've got to get ahead of the pain. And I said, well, I haven't got any pain.
gotta
So,
get
oh,
it.
it's coming.
Love that. Gotta get ahead of the pain, right?
I
I'll
know.
just tell you some more pills.
Hello, I don't have any pain, so it's not
Wow.
going to happen. And it didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have any pain at all from the minute I woke up after the operation. They said, "How are you feeling?" And I said, "Great."
Yeah.
Can,
Get me out of here.
have you got pain? No. Have you
Yeah.
done it?
Right. Wow.
Was
So
it?
now for people starting,
Mm.
there's keto flu, there's running to the bathroom, there's
Oh yeah.
it gets boring, eating meat all the time. Like, what kind of support, what mindset, other than Carnivore Compass Group, has helped you to stay on track, stay focused during tougher days?
Okay. I have done a lot of hypnotherapy in my life. So creative visualization is very important. I
Excellent.
think I really think you have to create the pictures and the visualization of the body that you wish to be and still at the same time enjoying the body that you are in, because you can't hate yourself to get there. It's like you can't exercise yourself out of a
Right.
bad diet. You can't create something from a position of negativity. So the visualization, and throwing everything at it, like imagining yourself on a beach at the weight that you wish to be,
Right.
and you can feel the breeze, and you can hear the sea, and feel the heat of the sun. All of that is so useful, and
Yeah.
I've done that a lot this time, and I really think it works. It really does, because I mean, you are what you think.
Absolutely. It's seeing that light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, yeah. And every day, small
And
progress, you'll get
yeah,
there for
for
sure.
sure. Now, has this affected relationships? Obviously, your energy. I mean, it's what, 7:30 in the morning there, and you're
Yeah.
spry as can be. So obviously, energy levels are up.
I'm a 4:30 in the morning wake up person.
Wow. So your overall outlook on life now that you're feeling this good is obviously way up there, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've always been a very optimistic person, but this is a whole new level of health. It
Yeah.
really is. Even a huge step up from keto, for
Yeah.
sure. And I've really noticed that my energy is through the roof. I mean, I'm
Good.
back up 12,000 steps plus a day. My Fitbit keeps telling me to slow down.
Take a rest. No.
Well, it does. It says, look, you're overtraining. You better stop, which I've had to because we've had massive thunderstorms this week.
Oh
And
boy. I've
I
seen
hate
some of
sit.
your posts like with lightning strikes and
Oh my God, I hate sitting down. It's like, what do I do? Roaming around the house. I know I'll vacuum.
so now we're going
Do
to be
something.
showing this video in our group, and I'm going to share it
Yeah.
with some other groups. Looking people straight in the eye through your camera. If someone's watching this and they're nervous to start, what advice would you give them?
I would say just do it.
Right,
Do it right now, but start slowly. Don't just, unless you're on keto and you don't have any, sort of, what do they call it? Food noise or
right.
something trendy. Just start. Just start and stick with it for 30 days. And once you hit 30 days, you'll go the 90 easily. And after that, I think you'd just be sold on it because I certainly am. The benefits of doing this are just incredible.
Yeah, and
Um,
I feel that, and it's the reason why we started this group. Like I researched this probably like going on 2 years now, where I've been
mm,
researching. And part of the problem is these groups like World Carnivore Tribe and the fake Dr. Barry group, like there's so many trolls that just
oh,
lash
God.
out and people get so, they feel bullied and then they step away.
Yes.
And that's why we started this group. So like you feel groups like ours where they're private and there's no judgment. These are good help then for carnivore.
I think a community is an incredibly um, supportive way to go. And as I think I said when you accepted me into your group, that I was very impressed with your level of administration and
Yeah.
control over the fact that we're not going to get these trolls in there. I
Yeah, we
mean,
had one last week, which I don't even, I vet these profiles so good, but these bot profiles are getting so good that
yeah,
it's hard to find out. But we zap them the minute they cause an issue or
yeah,
say something.
yeah.
They're out. There's just no forgiveness. Like it's the rule and that's it. And um, so our last question.
Yeah.
What's next for you on your health journey? Are there any new goals or insights that you want to share?
I think I'm just, well, I mean, I'm only sort of 8 months into it. So there's obviously, I'm looking forward to some changes. I mean, having done the iodine protocol now for some months, I'm seeing some changes now because
Right,
I think my body had to heal from all those broccoli sprouts and
right.
and cauliflower and all the rest of it that it got bombarded with for 10 years. And I think the healing is very important because there's, I mean, I lost 10 kilos
Right,
initially, and then I've just been bouncing up and down within the same 500 grams of weight.
right.
And I do weigh myself regularly now, um, just to keep an eye on things. But the measurements are the thing, and my clothes are getting looser. So something is now happening, but you have to be very patient and wait. And some days my weight drops down, other days it still pops up a bit. So, but something is going on. There are some big changes coming, and patience is the key.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And you're not just if you're coming on. to carnivore with the idea that you're going to lose, kilos and kilos of weight immediately, then it doesn't work that way,
Yeah.
as I discovered. And my main reason for, I mean, apart from wanting to fit into all my clothes, is that there's going to be so much less stress on my hip,
Yes.
which
Yep.
is important, and I don't want the visceral fat
And that's
going.
what we try and tell people when we're coaching is that weight loss is secondary in
Absolutely.
carnivore, right? You're looking for the health changes. And I mean weight is a big part of that health change, but that's
Mm-mm.
secondary. I tell people stay off the scale, right? Get out a measuring tape and measure your legs, measure
Yeah.
your chest,
Yeah,
measure your stomach.
lying down with the tape around your stomach is the best indicator,
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
And I mean, I'd stay on this just for the energy blast. I mean, it's just immense.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I'm coming up to 72 in a couple of weeks' time, and I
Wow.
mean, I'm just it's like being on speed.
That's excellent. I
If
mean,
you know what I mean.
right?
I'm not
Right?
advocating that you rush out and get any, but
That's going to be the title of this video. Jude
no,
said,
it's
like
not.
being on speed.
I probably shouldn't have said
I
that,
know. That's fine. That's
but it
incredible.
is. I mean,
Yep.
really, just and the whole calming of the nervous system and the optimistic outlook and I mean, not that I've ever been a person who's been depressed, but many people are. I mean, Australia hits the #1 spot for people on antidepressants in the
Wow.
Western world, I believe, and I mean, it's tragic.
Yep.
Just eat meat.
Well, and that's, again, that's something we've always said is all ailments, whether, social, whether mental, whether physical, start in the gut.
Absolutely, you got
Starts in
it.
the gut. Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
So you
that's
fix that and everything's good and your life is
absolutely.
way happier.
Yep.
That's for
Well,
sure.
I really appreciate you are our second video
Oh,
since
great.
we've
That's lovely.
started this.
Yeah.
It will be out later this week. I have to. I mean, it's not my full-time gig, so I have to make time to do the
Sure.
editing and
Yeah.
get it all done. But certainly appreciate it and appreciate you being in the group and look forward to more of seeing your posts and all that.
Thank you so much, Jason, for inviting me. It's been lovely. I've really had a good time with talking to you. And I
It,
will be posting, which will
perfect.
be good. And I hope you keep warm down up there. Up there. Yeah.
Well, we're set to take off here in just 2 or 3 weeks. We'll be doing a lot of our broadcasting or Facebooking from a cruise ship. So um, the
Very
last
nice.
yeah, the last week of the month and the first week of December, my wife and I, this will be our 32nd year anniversary. So we
Lovely.
do it on a cruise ship every year. So
Where are you going this one?
this one will be Southern Caribbean.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sounds divine.
yeah.
Well,
Next
I hope
year we're
you have
gonna
a
do.
wonderful time.
I appreciate it. Next year we're gonna do Spain and over towards Europe. We've never been, so
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe one day down to Australia.
Yeah, well, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
We've got plenty of guest bedrooms if you
perfect.
want to come.
All right, I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you so much, and
Th-
enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Jason. Bye for now.
Bye now.